What do you do with paintings on paper that you no longer want? Today I'm going to show you a couple of things I'm doing to upcycle some of my less successful or practice pieces on paper. I'm Pat from Scribner Art and Design in Parksville, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. I'm passionate about teaching and mentoring artists and inspiring you along your artistic journey. If you're enjoying my content, please like and subscribe to my channel. Share my videos with a friend. Come on over to my Facebook community and share your work. And another way you can support me is leaving a tip on Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description below. Now, on to the video. So here's a bunch of my cut up paintings, and they were not necessarily stellar paintings. Some of them were just practice things, all kinds of stuff. So what I've done is cut them up into the same size pieces using a paper cutter, and then I've compiled them into pages and just use these bulldog clips to keep them together. So they have around 12 pieces of paper in each one. And I picked a painting that would serve as a cover. So the covers are from mixed media paper, but the insides could be from a variety of things that I had in my studio. So it could be some things that had collage on, scribbles, lighter weight paper that I've tried some things on. Anything kind of goes. These are kind of like a junk journal, but my idea behind it is just to take these journals and rework into them. So it would give me a starting place, and I've tried to theme the books to some extent, and I've tried to pick covers that matched back and front. And then I've tried to put the book together with some interest on some of the pages. Oh, that one doesn't seem like it has a back cover. This one was all from one large painting on a paper roll that I had a lot of fun doing, but it was kind of inexpensive paper, not really good to mount, so I just cut it up and made it into this journal. So all kinds of different innards and backgrounds. This was a watercolor painting that I cut up, and again, some more watercolor on this one. So you name it, it's in these books. This one has some raw canvas. This is from a canvas I ripped off a stretcher bar, and it had ended up on this particular painting. So no right, no wrong, just something to work into again. So those ones are just the single page ones. And then I've done some double page ones where the actual page is folded over. And this would be stitched together in a different manner. So again, the idea is exactly the same. It's just a page that is folded halfway, and for that I do have a scoring board and a bone folder. So these are, again, I tried to put something of interest in. This one has brown paper bags that I painted on. So I think that's going to be fun to respond to. Even the barcode here from the paper. So now that I have these all cut and compiled, and they're not that big, with the signature ones, because they're cut all the same, there's going to be some trimming to do on on the edge there just to make them the same. The bulldog clips work great to hold them together until you're ready to sew them as well. So the next thing I want to show you is the different stitching techniques I'm going to use. So I'm not a bookbinder per se, and so I'm using something that is fairly simple to do. So on the single page books, I'm going to be just using the Japanese stab binding method, which once you catch on to it, it's pretty simple. And there's lots of videos on YouTube about that. If it's something that you'd like me to show you, just leave a comment on that and I'll make a video that might inspire me to get my stitching done on these. So this particular book has handmade paper on the front cover, and on the inside it's just done on regular paper, and it's a lot of mark making exercises. So that is a Japanese stab binding. I've done the same thing on this book. Again, a painting on the back and front as the cover, and just some various, that's part of that painting as well. Just some various things inside, some blank pages, something to respond to. These two I put a twig on, so I really like using a twig, especially if it has a feel of nature on the book. And this has some full page spreads of that painting cut up, maybe more than one painting. So again, something to respond to. This one is just a little blank book, Japanese stab binding, and some beautiful handmade paper, and then just blank paper inside to use as a journal. So that is what I will be doing with the single pages. With the folded pages, I'm going to be sewing it into signatures. So a signature is a group of pages that's bound together from the middle up and around, back down and back to the middle. And you can have several signatures in one book, but I'm just putting one signature in each book, keeping it simple and not too big. So again, this is this very textured handmade paper. I've used some hemp thread here, and I've tied on this elasticized metallic cord here because I want to use this button, which is a raku button made by my friend Sharon, and I'm going to sew it on so I can tie that, bind that ribbon cord around that as a closure, and I think that will give this book a lovely feel. So that's a way to embellish them using buttons and beads. So this one, I made a cover just using some recycled cardboard as my base. So you can use something like a cereal box, weight, that kind of thing. And I've used some fabric from the quilting store. This is just where you buy the pre-cut samples of fabrics, and they work really well for these smaller projects. Inside I've got some scrapbook paper, and then again a bunch of miscellaneous pages. In the back I've left this flap open and sewed my cord through with a button on it, so I have a closure. So that one has a bit of a beach theme. I'm quite pleased with how that turned out with the cover. And then this particular one, the cover I've made out of, and this isn't sewn in yet, the cover I've made out of canvas that I had painted on, so not stretch canvas, but just canvas sheets or canvas off a roll. I'm not sure what it was. So I've got cardboard as my base in here, and then I've used the painting on the inside as well as a piece of canvas to adhere it for my spine, and my outside spine is also part of a painting. And this is by no means perfect. I see that I have my canvas on crooked here. I might have to add another layer of embellishment if that bothers me. And then I have my signature, which I will sew together. And I'm thinking instead of stitching this through my binding, I may just make the signature and glue it into the book. So that's another thing you can use. You can use canvas paintings for your covers if you want to cut some canvas paintings, or you have canvas paintings just on the canvas pad. They're a great weight to use for this as well. So that's another way that I'm going to be making the booklets with these folded over books. The next thing I'm doing is making cards. So I've got some blank cards from Amazon, and I've taken some paintings and cropped them down into something that was reasonable as a card, and this will allow people to get a small original painting as a gift. So anything that looked pleasing to my eye, I cut down, and I could go back into these and further embellish them with some pens, jelly pens, and of course I'm going to sign them and put my website on the back. I may get a stamp to do the backs of it rather than handwriting it. This one has a bit of collage and music notes. So these are just little practice paintings for those floral ones. These have been cut out as something bigger, kind of little stratas. Again, printed papers on there, some corrugated cardboard, text. Few words in here, some Asemic writing. So there's lots of opportunity to do small cards. I would like to do some square as well. And some of these, you know, I think all these work vertical, but if you had some that worked horizontal, you could definitely do a combination of horizontal and vertical cards. So those are some of my ideas for upcycling your paintings. I hope that gave you a couple of ideas of things that you can do yourself. If you have some other ideas of how to upcycle your art on paper or even on canvas, please leave a comment below. We can all help each other grow. Thanks for watching, and stay creative.